connecting your brain and body with interactive games and tests. Why is there no physical activity in today's health physical? Trazer is an holistic technology used to rehabilitate, prevent falls, and improve sport performance. Trazer reports provide you, your clinician, your physical therapist, or athletic trainer objective data to make decisions on your health and performance over time. Measure what matters to change your game. Take the Trazer Challenge. Confidence, growth, connected by Trazer.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Man, Eric Wilson in for the Sports Arena. Yes, on a Monday night. Well, let's see. We got this Monday, and then next Monday is Labor Day. And after that, you already know what time it is. Football season is back, baby. It is in the building. Oh, it has been a long past couple of months, but thank goodness we can get back to doing what we love, which is talking about football. Listen, no disrespect to the other organizations out there, the NBA, the NHL, MLB, WNBA. But y'all know there's just something about the game of football that just unites us and brings us all together. Last week, as I said here on the Sports Arena, we did the AFC, talking about each team, giving our preseason prediction of what we think this team, how these teams are going to fare. Well, y'all already know what time it is tonight. We are doing the NFC, and I am glad, so thankful to welcome back my brother, the Playmaker, is in the building. What's going on, brother? How are you?
What's up, bro?
Man, thank you for joining us here tonight again. I know we did the AFC last week. Mike, I'm sure will be making his Mike on CP time because he out there on the left coast, the West Coast. So I'm sure he's going to join us in a minute. But man, really quick, for those who don't know where to follow you, I want to get this out the way early because we got a lot to jump into. So I'm going to give you the floor. Let everybody know, starting off, man, where they can find you, where they can follow you, because so much knowledge comes out of this young man right here, the Playmaker. So, and I know Ramsley Talk is soon to be jumping off once again, but let the people know, brother.
Well, thank you, my brother. Darnell Playmaker Silence on Facebook, D20 Playmaker on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter. YouTube channel D Playmakers Blog. That's all you need to type in, D Playmakers Blog. You see it right there on the screen on the name Playmaker. Ramley Talk. We Thursday. I already did weeks 1 through 10. So this Thursday will be weeks 11 through 14 in my season preview that I normally do. Also, Wednesday, I'll be doing college football, previewing the SEC, previewing week 1, and I might do a little talking about week 0. And then they're shooting lights out with my basketball program, which this man has been on several times.
Listen, when it comes to the W and when it comes to talking basketball, you know I'm going to always hit you up because your knowledge just of the game speaks volumes. But let's get into the NFL.
You'd have been happy today. I talked about Mario more today.
Oh, please don't think I don't know. I listen. That if we ever, not if, when we get the opportunity to have that conversation with her, man, it's just going to be such a great thing, because just to be able to speak to someone who transcended the game of women's basketball and knew that was just a catalyst to move her to where she really wanted to go. Like, to me, Maya Moore embodies greatness. And so when that opportunity comes, man, I'm so thankful, and I welcome that opportunity to just sit down, because she is someone who I would love to just pick her brain on everything from being one of the greatest, but knowing that your life, that was just a part of it, that was not it. You know what I mean?
Man. When that day comes.
When that day comes. All right, let's jump into the NFC, because there is, I think when we begin talking about some of these teams, there isn't really much to say, but there is important stuff to say. So let's start like we did last week. We started at the bottom. Oh, Carolina Panthers, 2-15. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that Bryce Young was just kind of thrown to the wolves with how this team was constructed.
Oh, I'm saying it.
But damn.
No, I'm saying it. He was thrown to the wolves.
But you're the number one draft pick. And as we all know, when you're the number one draft pick, there is a level of expectation.
And this
as
is
far
why
as
that's why I enjoyed watching Stephen A. interview Tom Brady.
Okay. Speak on it then. Go ahead. Talk about it.
Because Tom Brady sat there and said we had gotten to the point where these rookie quarterbacks don't have the opportunity to sit and learn anymore. They just get thrown right into the fire. And you wonder why more times than not these high-profile quarterbacks come out of college fail. You throwing them straight in.
But you're the number one draft pick. And we know that the NFL, while it is a game, it is also a business. So them owners and them stockholders, and more importantly, the fans who are tired of seeing a team lose season after season after season, go in with the expectation that this new blood, this new energy is going to bring them out of the bottom. We ain't talking about bringing them to the Super Bowl. We're talking about, can you at least get us to a winning record?
Who's the owner of the Carolina Panthers?
I'm sorry?
Who's the owner of the Carolina Panthers?
Who's on the team?
Who is the owner of the Carolina Panthers?
Oh, we're not. I'm not talking about it.
Thank you very much. Okay.
No, we only got
because everything you said. I love everything that you said, but who is the owner we're talking about here?
Okay. All right. Look, they went 2-15 last year. Bryce Young going into his sophomore year. He can't do much worse. What do you got them going?
Can't do much worse. Let me look at this schedule.
They start at the Saints. Then they got the Chargers at home. That's their home opener. Then they go to Vegas, home for the Bengals.
Good.
Then they go to Chicago.
What is a win on this schedule?
They go to the Commanders. They go to the Broncos. The Giants, week 10. I don't know.
That depends on what Daniel Jones looks like.
When we get to him, boy, I'm not even. Come on, man. 2-15. What are you thinking about? Seriously.
They're going to have another terrible season.
Well,
I'm sorry, Carolina fan. Y'all have no chance whatsoever.
At 2-15, are you going to give them any? How many wins you giving them?
I give you 3.
So you give them one more than last year.
I give them 3. I don't even know what 3 they're gonna win. That's how bad it is in Carolina.
But you gonna give them 3?
I'm gonna give them 3. I'm gonna be nice today.
I'm gonna go one more than you, and say they get 4.
Good.
And that's me being nice. I'll give them 4 wins. I will. I gotta see it with this team.
Oh my God!
But I'll give them 4 wins. All right.
This is the laughing stock of the NFL.
No, the New York Giants about to be the laughing stock of the NFL. We're gonna get to.
They had a better record than them last year. What you talking about?
They had Saquon. They ain't got Saquon no more. So, but let's go to the next. Listen, let's go to the next team, and I'm glad this brother is joining us because he is actually there, the left coast, the west coast. My man Mike Caratenuto's in the building.
What up, yo?
What's up, Mike? You know, I totally I totally forgot, ladies and gentlemen. I have to give Michael Caratanudo an apology because Mike is always here on time, ready to go, poised, and ready to just tear me a new one when it comes to how bad Philadelphia is, the Eagles at least.
I can't.
And I totally forgot Mike's in Phoenix at the Suns game. I mean, at the Mercury
game, yeah. New York Liberty, baby. They just got started. It's all right, dude. I wasn't gonna miss this because I know I missed you in Playmaker last week with the AFC. Pregame, getting some stuff done. But it's good stuff, man. And look, dude, you always go at the heartstrings of our fans. I figured this out, man. Only took me 18 years. You always say, "Oh, I trash the Eagles and I attack you." Did you get the message I sent you on IG, that little video?
Yes, Mike.
Okay. My friend, of course, showed me that all happy. And I'm like, I got to send this to – I'm just going to send it to him before he sends it to me. That being said, man, I can't stand them. But when it comes to defending them and how PO'd I was when they got Saquon. So, we didn't even get Derrick Henry out of this ordeal. So
no, you didn't. All right, Mike, you in Arizona last year, the
Go
Cardinals in your backyard. Stop it, Playmaker. Stop it. But do tell Sloot I said what's up. Arizona last year, 4-13. Mike, give me your thoughts on this team going into this season.
Yeah, look, they're more excited. Kyler Murray, and we talked about it last year, didn't come back till week 9. We knew he was going to miss the first part of the season because of the torn ACL from the season before. So, look, they have every right to be excited. And Marvin Harrison Jr., when we talked draft, it was okay. If you come up there, because you and I pretty much agreed on that, as much as I despise and can't stand that school that Marvin Harrison Jr. went to. Yes, as the top receiver in football, absolutely. Like, unless you get just bombarded with a bunch of number ones, ones and twos, like we were talking like that. Like, yeah, you should be excited. Trey McBride is a tight end. So you get Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride grew a lot last year when Kyler Murray came back in. They always say, and Eric, we've heard this a million times. What do they say about, especially in ACL? It's that second year back where you start to see that player, that athlete, whatever, just kind of more comfortable in what they're doing and their game up. So, look, it's this time of year, we always say hope springs eternal. I think Cardinals fans can be a lot more optimistic that they'll see a better offense. But where does that come win-wise? The Niners are still the Niners. Yes, all the Brandon Ayuk stuff going on. Trent Williams, wants his money guaranteed. What's left on his contract, because he has no more guaranteed left there. But the Niners are still deep. The Niners are still the Niners. What are the Rams going to be? Because I still think, the
careful, Mike, careful. You got Playmaker in the building.
Oh, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I think the Rams, I think Matt Stafford, obviously, and Sean McVay, more to prove after, you come off a Super Bowl. They did everything to obviously get that Super Bowl. But to me, it's one of those things where the Rams, I think might be more of a threat to the Niners, but the Cardinals, look, offensively, Kyler Murray, look, the Hail Mary a few years ago to our boy, DeAndre Hopkins, by the way, quick side note, I picked him up late in fantasy. I got DeAndre Hopkins on my team. Nobody took him. I'm like, fools. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
all right.
No, that offense from the Cardinals, that's one of the things. Yes, it is a question mark. Is Kyler Murray going to take that step? James Conner, this guy's been a badass, man. Can he – but to your point on health, Eric, can he stay healthy for, 15 games this season? If 17 – well, all 17 would be great. But I'm just saying, if you put yourself in that position – do I think they're exciting enough to where they could battle for a wild card? I think they keep it exciting around here. Marvin Harrison Jr., the way he's looked, the receiving core, you got James Conner. There's no need to not be excited.
So from 4-13, you're saying the Arizona Cardinals could potentially slide into that number 7 wild card spot.
I think they could.
Okay.
They could be challenging for it because I think they could finish. I was looking at their schedule. course, it's the NFL. I love these people say, oh, they got a last place schedule from last year. The only different games that every team in a division plays is the one division that they're not playing. So if the NFC East isn't playing the NFC West, then everybody would play who finished first, second, third, and fourth. We get
Right.
that. But that's the thing. Like, I think it could be a very fun, and I know it doesn't sound great. I just said they could be battling, but they could put themselves in, down the stretch to battle for that, that last wild card. But, they could also finish 7-10, but look a lot better for Jonathan Gannon. And I think a lot's going to come down to Kyler, obviously. But now you have a little more weapons around him.
Fair enough. Playmaker, 4-13. What are they going to look like?
6 wins.
So you're giving them 2 more. That's it.
Spoken
Yes.
as a Rams fan.
No, I'm not speaking as a Rams fan. Like you said, I am part of that division, so I already know who they're playing this year.
Yeah.
You're talking the AFC East and the NFC North. Those are not easy wins in those divisions. On top of you being in the NFC West.
Okay. I look at this team, and I will go to what our man, the halftime show's own Cortland Griffin, said. I love this comment. They could contend for a wild card, but that defense, Mike, you and I are defensive guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the difference maker. I will say they get 5, even though their schedule looks on paper like they should get 7, if not 8, based on who they are playing. The Carolinas of the world, the New England Patriots of the world, other teams that are
I'm
not
going
there.
7-10, man. 7-10.
Oh, I listen. We'll see what
Hey,
happens.
you getting on me by saying 6 wins.
I didn't get on you. I just said
No,
as a Rams fan. I was
He's-
teasing you about being a Rams fan, not about 6 wins.
All right. Let's talk about the Washington Commanders. Now, Mike, this is our division.
Do we have to? No.
Yes, we do. Because
We do.
first off, I got to say this to the Washington Commanders. I want to say thank y'all for Jahan Dotson. I have not officially expressed. The edible arrangement is in
That's what
on
I
its
wanted to hear.
way.
That's
to
what I
y'all.
wanted to hear.
I just wanted to say thank you for that one.
Disgusting.
Because we appreciate what you did for us. We are not going to look at like, oh, we just
cool.
we-
Lose
we-
to him twice then.
Hey, why are you
Ooh,
playing?
Listen,
Why are
Washington.
you playing? I don't think people are really paying attention to that trade like they should.
that's the thing. People not in the division are not paying attention to that trade. Those of us in the division, the recipient, the giver, and them other 2 teams are like, did that really just happen? Like he could have came to us.
Because now with Saquon,
See, I'm not looking at it I'm not looking from Philly standpoint. I'm looking at
Oh, I know.
Washington standpoint.
I know.
I don't think they paying attention. I don't think people pay attention to that. Remember what the Philadelphia Eagles gave Washington for Jahan Dotson. And think about another team that they was looking to trade with.
Okay.
I just don't understand it. Like within a
Oh, I
division,
do.
it's a
It
player.
worked
Like,
for me. I'm good with it. Appreciate
I mean-
you. Much love. Thank you.
yeah, exactly. But now, that's like, look. I mean, he's a number 3, but it's a number 3 that you're like, are you kidding me? And it couldn't have happened to a worse franchise. Like,
Do you want me
yeah,
to piece it together for you? Guess what the price was for Brandon Ayuk? A 3rd round pick. What did Washington just get?
yeah, 3rd round pick.
Brandon Ayuk could be on the table to the nation's capital.
And the Niners aren't doing that. Dude, he holds no cards. And I love, dude, look, he's a Sun Devil. I love Ayuk. I'm just saying, when you really hold no cards, that's why you have a hold in. So you're not getting fined every day.
It's not him. That's what the 49ers asked the Commanders for when they initially talked. It was a 3rd round pick.
Well, that's
So
odd.
basically what you're saying is
That's odd from
the Washington Commanders
John Lynch.
made the offer, or the San Francisco 49ers, excuse me, received the offer from the Washington Commanders. You give us Ayuk, we'll give you a 3rd round pick.
I would laugh my butt off. He was a first
And
round pick. I'm
then-
not going any lower than a 2.
When it didn't happen, Washington said, well, we're going to send Jahan Dotson within the division
to Philly,
to a contender,
Mm-hmm.
because we want this guy Brandon Ayuk that bad.
Yeah, but the last 8 days too have been quiet from the Niners and Ayuk. Ayuk hasn't posted in 8 to 9 days, posted anything like cryptic, and he's been in his little,
he,
as you know,
he
playmaker.
ain't been practicing either still. So
Well, he's not practicing, but I'm just saying he's at camp. He doesn't feel his elbow hurts, so he can't run. But it doesn't matter because he ain't getting fined, and that's all that matters because he doesn't hold the
Okay.
cards. And I get it. When you're the team's number one receiver last year for a team that went to the Super Bowl, and you look at the numbers, I mean, but you still have another 2 years on your deal. Like, yeah, now's not the time to be like, I mean,
Okay.
Trent Williams, they're gonna guarantee his money, playmaker.
all I'm gonna
Here's
say
what
is me and Cortland, we thinking on the same wavelength. That's all
No,
I'm gonna say.
yeah,
I mean, you might
Cortland
want to
is
play with
definitely-
Jaden Daniels, but I just Cortland, I'm not disagreeing. I saw these two, and yeah, I mean, granted, Jaden Daniels being a freshman, and shameless plug for my Pitchfork Lunch Show. You see highlights of different Sun Devil plays, and that's one of them when they beat Oregon on that Thursday night, and I was in the stadium. I think I sent Eric about 20 texts about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, his time, I was finishing up at midnight, all happy, like, let's get a drink. The Ducks got cooked. But anyway, I digress. No, I'm not saying he wouldn't want to, but if you're the Commanders, you guys say this, you're telling me that, I mean, Terry McLaurin with the yo-yo of quarterbacks that he's been back and forth with. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm just saying the array of it's like the Larry Fitzgerald effect. I'm not calling Terry McLaurin Larry Fitzgerald, but everybody you say, who's throwing Larry Fitzgerald the ball? Like after Kurt Warner, you guys know, I mean, it was a merry-go-round of quarterbacks, and you still saw Larry Fitzgerald producing like no other. So if you do that, then you're pretty much saying to Terry McLaurin, like, all right, well, your time's going to be up here because you can't pay both those guys number one receiver things. And Terry McLaurin,
Mike,
as much as I hate
Mike,
to
let me
say
just say this, and I know we got to keep going here, but I'm gonna say this really quick. Give you my numbers. I'm gonna get your numbers, playmaker. I'm gonna get your numbers, and then we got to keep rolling because we've only been through 3 teams. But this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I'll say to you: a lot of times, when there's familiarity, and that familiarity can breed into victories, sometimes an athlete will humble themselves. I won't say sacrifice, and I damn sure won't say belittle themselves, but they will humble themselves to say, in order to get to that next level, in order to go where I want to go and be with who I want to be with, I will go this route as opposed to staying where I'm at and maybe not being truly happy. So that's why I could see where Playmaker and Cortland are saying, and the easiest way to put it to you, Mike, is like this. If I knew that you and Playmaker were at Company A and y'all are doing great things, I'm over here at Company B and we're competing. But I know if I come to y'all, the 3 of us can get turned up, but I got to take a pay cut, or I might have to travel, or I might have to do whatever. I might look at that, go look in the mirror and say, okay, I can stay where I'm at and be successful, or I can ride with my boys and we all get turned up. You know what? That's where I see it. I say Washington, should Ayuk show up, 7 wins. If Ayuk doesn't show up, 4, same as they had last year.
You can just go ahead and write that same down with my name by it too. That's why I'm at.
Okay. I'm giving them I'll say if they get 5 wins this year. Who was the first team you guys did?
We did Carolina.
Oh,
you ain't missed nothing.
I gave him 3. I gave him I was gonna say
we're on the same page. All right.
3 wins.
Next,
but
next
I give Washington 5.
Next team, I'm gonna keep it simple. New York Football Giants. I don't care if Daniel Jones is a starter or not. They ain't getting more than 4 wins. I'm done.
Wow.
and shameless plug to Avery Graves. You can career over me all you want. Your team ain't getting more than 4 to 5 wins. That's it. As long as you got Daniel Jones at quarterback. 4 years, $160 million. Move on.
It's just last year, though. If he
Okay.
doesn't do anything, it's his last year in that deal. So
Okay, they still ain't doing nothing with it.
okay,
7
so
and
you
10 for
said
New York. Cortland, get Cortland. What is wrong with
7?
you?
Where's 7 at?
wow.
Show me 7.
You
Cortland.
said 4, Eric?
I said 4 to 5, Mike.
Where is 7? That's what I'm trying to figure. What?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at their schedule. What? I don't see 7
7.
wins.
Cortland,
I do not see 7.
You need to be tested, Cortland. Anyhow, what y'all got for New York? We got to keep moving.
4.
Okay,
If that.
Mike, what you got?
I'm gonna go 6. Just because
okay.
it's the Meadowlands thing. I'm gonna go 6. So Cortland, I do. You can say it's one less, but 7 and 10. No, they get 6 wins somehow.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next team. That is the Atlanta Falcons at 7 and 10, but they brought in my favorite quarterback, not in Kirk Cousins. So our friend from the Blonde Blitz, Deb Whitkiss, has given me something she wants to share with all of y'all because the Atlanta Falcons are actually her pick to win the NFC South. So I want to play this video. Thank you to her. And then, gentlemen, I want to get your reaction.
My NFC South top pick goes to the Atlanta Falcons, stopping the Bucs possibly from a 4-year streak at the top seed. Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. Need I say more? I feel as though new head coach Raheem Morris is building something special in the ATL. And after living there for 2 years, I can't wait to see this talented team finally play to its potential. After a quarterback carousel the last few years since Matt Ryan's departure, the Falcons acquiring Kirk Cousins from the Vikings and then drafting Michael Penix Jr. behind him finally gives Atlanta some consistency at the QB position. So Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Tyler Algier can show the world what they got. I am a bit concerned about Cousins being fully recovered from injury. There are only 4 notable examples of QBs tearing their Achilles later in their careers and returning to the field. But good news for Cousins, the Falcons' O-line is led by 3 former first-round picks, left tackle Jake Matthews, right tackle Caleb McGarry, and 2-time Pro Bowler Chris Lundstrom at right guard. They rank as the 3rd best pass blocking unit in the NFL last season. And if Cousins can stay healthy and Penix can back him up, I see ATL taking the division. Final record, 11-6.
What? What? 11, Deb. Come on, 11.
Dude, they got okay. Wait. From everything you just said, they do have a 3-game streak of the Giants, the Commanders, and the Raiders. That's a 3-game stretch for them.
You said 3.
They
3.
They can split with Tampa. They can sweep New Orleans.
How about 5?
That's 6 wins right there.
You said 3-game stretch. How about a 5-game stretch?
Oh well,
You left out Minnesota and you left out Carolina at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, Las Vegas. Oh, so okay. So there's.
So you're saying, Playmaker, from December 8th till the end of the year, they getting 5 wins.
They can go
Vikings,
5-0.
Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Panthers.
And
They
they
can
can
go
beat the
4-1 or
Broncos
5-0.
with 6. They can sweep the Saints, which everybody's up in there. So that would be 8. You split with Tampa. That's 9. So Seattle, the Cowboys, the Chargers.
Denver.
Are they beating your Cowboys, Mike?
I'm just
Are
saying.
the Atlanta
Chiefs,
Falcons beating?
Well, I mean, they should beat
your
the Eagles
Cowboys?
too on Monday night.
I mean, it is in the ATL, by the way. It is in the ATL. They are not being Philly week 2. And
No,
Philly
I
home
think
opener,
they're
they're not being
not.
Philly.
That's our whole
They're
goal.
not being Philly.
Spoiler alert for the Sports Arena fans. I'm picking Philly that week.
I'm
Eric's
be
not
honest,
picking Dallas, but
Eric, she's
I'm just
not
being
far.
honest.
She's not far off, bro.
11, but listen, it's Kirk Cousins in a new place. I'm looking at the time frame. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, they might. Okay, because it's a 1:00 game. Most of these games. All right, 11.
and
Okay, 11
Bijan
6.
Robinson is the man.
No, I didn't. I said nothing bad about Bijan.
No, I know.
Robinson. He's not who I'm talking about.
I know.
I'm talking about that quarterback.
You're-
Okay.
If Kirk
All right.
Cousins
So
can stay
I
healthy,
can't wait to bring Kirk as my +1 to the barbecue.
and guess what? 9-8 won this division.
Right.
So them winning double-digit games wins
I was
them
gonna
the
say
division.
10. I was gonna say 10. I wasn't gonna say 11. I was gonna say 10. Okay. I was gonna say 10.
But you made it sound like she was off though when she said 11.
She just 11. I was like, hold on now. I had to go back and look myself. Okay, fine. I say 10-7. Playmaker, what do you say?
10-7,
Mike,
and the
what do
Falcons win the division. And my sister's gonna love me for that.
I'm going.
you allowed back in the house?
I'm going. Yeah. I'm going 10-7. I'll
All
go
right, so
10-7 too.
unanimous 10-7. Let's go to the new look Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams in the NFC North.
Oh, the most
They
hyped
went
team in the
7-10
NFL.
last year. Say what?
The most hyped team in the NFL.
I
Everybody
thought that-
loving it. Everybody loving
thought-
them. So Chicago right about now.
Yeah. All right, so then speak on it then. What's their record with Caleb Williams? And again, we always say this is barring injury and health. So everybody stay healthy. Everybody play on their level. Chicago 7-10. What they gonna finish with this year?
I get them 7-10.
Same as last year. Mike, what do
Same
you
as
think?
last year.
I'm gonna go 8-9.
Wow. Well,
I'm
for
gonna go
once,
8-9. Look, I think
me and Cortland agree because I'm looking at that schedule and I'm saying 6-11. That's what I'm saying.
I
It's not a difficult schedule and it's not the easy schedule. It's like the middle of a pack schedule, so it can go either way.
Right.
and those receivers, those toys that he got, man. I mean, come on.
Oh, them toys that can't stay on the field.
What Romo? Look, Romo Dunze, this rookie's they're gonna ball out, and DJ Moore will be on the field. Look, Keenan Allen, get him the ball. He be on the field, and I'm not gonna rip on.
You can't
Keenan
ignore
Allen.
Keenan
He's been a
Allen.
stud.
You can't
dude's been a
ignore
stud.
Keenan Allen.
They lose in week 1. All right,
That's why I say them toys that can't stay on the field because Keenan Allen can never stay on the field.
Yes, he can.
Cortland, if this game, listen,
Oh,
if this game
they're
was
losing. They're playing
in-
Tennessee week 1.
if they was in Tennessee, I'd be like, okay, I can see your point, bro.
It's in September too, so it ain't like you're gonna have bad weather. So
Right. You better be
Absolutely.
careful on that one. Home opener, week 1, Caleb Williams. Cut it out, brother.
they
All right.
losing week 4. That's all I gotta say.
Y'all need to stop being biased like that, man. That's me and Mike's job. Stop coming in our playground like that, man. We know how good y'all's teams are, or not as good. We curb stomping them. What are you, Seth Rollins now? What is this going on here? Tennessee's
Wow.
curb stomping, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first
Tennessee's
from the
Hey,
halftime
Cortland,
shows on.
are you
Cortland
the only one
Griffin.
picking Tennessee to win your division?
Man,
Because
who's
I know-
next? Who's next?
Yeah, who's next? Who's our
Minnesota.
next team?
Minnesota
Oh,
at
man.
7-10, and I got them at 5 wins.
Oh,
What?
man.
Yeah.
That injury to JJ McCarthy, man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I see ghosts.
No.
I believe in him throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson though. A lot.
You need more than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. And hey, they got Aaron Jones, a little older or not, man. Dude showed he's still running, he's still balling out running. They run the ball a little bit, get Justin Jefferson the ball. Not many people are covering him, but
Aaron
5
Jones
wins,
got
huh?
a little bit of tread left. And I say he's good for 9 of the 17 games. He's good for half the season. And I like Aaron Jones. I really
are
do.
you looking at the best schedule, Mike?
I'm just saying.
That is not a fun schedule for Minnesota.
well, I mean,
I can't
they
in good conscience.
but to your point, they should beat the Giants week 1, get voted
Oh,
by the
that's the
Niners week
Giants.
2, the Texans week 3.
That's in there.
In Houston. Yeah. Then okay.
No, it's not. It's
It's in Minnesota, but that's still in there. It's still a dome.
Minnesota. Either way,
Then you go to Green Bay.
That's in there.
division game. Then you got the Jets. We'll see where they're at by week 5. You get your bye, and then Detroit probably gonna get crushed. Oh, the Rams, they should walk all over, righty?
Not on a Thursday night in LA.
No,
Short
just
week.
kidding.
Yeah, short
the
week. Come on
Colts,
now.
the Jags, they can beat.
Not in
Tennessee-
not here in
Tennessee,
Duval.
I guess it's going to curb stomp everybody according to Cortland, but that game's up in the air. The Bears, they can definitely beat.
They can
Cardinals,
are
I mean,
beat.
Falcons,
Bears again.
Or Bears. I mean, division games are Seattle. At Seattle, probably not. I think they probably lose up there. Detroit. I mean, So
Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm gonna. They won 7 last year. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say somehow they get back to 7.
They getting
Okay.
5.
I see. Thank you. That's what I said. All right. Next up, New Orleans Saints. They went 9-8 last year.
Yes, they did.
Who is the New Orleans Saints? Who are they?
Well,
Ask Cam Jordan that question. I'm just saying.
Which means Eric has the same question that I have. Who is the New Orleans Saints in 2024?
I mean, look, Derek Carr, we've talked about, everybody's gone back and forth. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, Michael Thomas that was a mess last year. I mean, Alvin Kamara is back. Yeah, okay, you're older, but look, I think Carr, I mean, you keep him upright, and the Saints have lived off their defense. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody's saying they're going to have a bad record last year, but their defense still kept it together. Now you look at the quarterback thing. I mean, local kid that I covered him a few minutes ago, Spencer Rattler, looked pretty good in the preseason. Kid that was, at Oklahoma, then transferred to South Carolina. But how are they going to be defensively? I mean, it's a division everybody's like, oh, I mean, Carolina's bad. And then you get the Bucks, and everybody's like, well, can Baker Mayfield? I mean, hey, Eric, Mike Evans is still playing. So there's another 1,000 yards for Mike Evans.
We ain't got to the Bucks yet.
But I'm just saying, like, that's it. It's interesting what the Saints defense will be. I know everything I've seen from diehard Saints fans, and I think even way back when Cortland and I were talking about it, like they want Dennis Allen gone so bad. Like, I get it. You're the dude after Sean Payton. The dude after the dude is never a fun job whatsoever at all. So to look at their schedule, I mean, look, if Derek Carr can play, he stays healthy and playing and distribute the ball. I mean, you open up with Carolina. Okay, I'm guessing by all our thought, they should win that game. They're at home against Carolina. They're getting crushed week 2 in Texas, playing the Cowboys.
Crushed week 3 by Philadelphia.
And then you go to Atlanta. So, okay, I could say Atlanta's home team, division game. Atlanta gets that victory. At Kansas City, probably a loss. Tampa.
And why is that game on prime time?
Yeah, Monday night, right? Monday Night Football. Yeah,
it is.
So Tampa, the next week in Tampa, though, okay, I could see Tampa winning that. Denver, I mean, look, I think Bo Nix is going to be awesome, but at the same point, like,
but that's week 7, and it's a Thursday night short week.
They're
home for the Bucks. They're home for the Bucks, and they're home for the Broncos.
So, yeah, and then you get that.
Then you got to go to the Chargers,
and at that point, we'll see what the a healthier Justin Herbert later in this. Separated from the injury. Carolina again, the Falcons.
But Mike, I think that those 2 games, the Broncos and Chargers game,
they split.
Definitely. No, I think they're 2 losses. I think they're 2 losses.
I was going to say they split.
I don't think they win one game the month of October. Chiefs, Bucks, Broncos,
and
Chargers. I don't think the Saints.
I
don't think the Saints.
ESPN. ESPN. What is y'all doing with this Monday night? Why do the New Orleans Saints have 2 primetime games in the span of 3 weeks? Both of them on Monday night.
No, they got
what
a
are
Monday
we doing?
And a Thursday.
Maybe they know something we don't.
No, they got a Monday and a Thursday. They don't have
this is ridiculous. I don't want to see the Saints in prime time.
After that, October stretch, you look at going into November, you got Carolina, who they can beat, the Falcons at home, who, again, if they split, if each team defends their home field,
right, they'll split.
And then they go home for Cleveland. And then they're home for Cleveland. Defense, we'll see where they are by week 11.
Then they're off all the way till December 1st, where they go to the Rams or play the Rams.
Next have a bye week, and then then they're home for the Rams. The Rams, I mean, indoors. Good luck with that one. Okay, they can beat the Giants, they can beat Washington. Then they're at Green Bay. Obviously, hey, there's another Monday night game for you, Playmaker.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They have 2 Monday night games.
The Saints and Packers.
Saints and Packers, Monday night in December 23rd.
In Lambeau.
So, the Saints are going to get rolled there. But then you have the Raiders and then the Bucks. So, I mean, look, I think this is a team that flirts around 7-8 wins.
Saints, y'all gonna get what y'all want. Y'all gonna go 6-11, and Dennis Allen gets fired.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
I was gonna say they even go. I could see him going 7-10, and he still gets canned. But I'm with you. I'm gonna go with you, playmaker. 6-11.
All right, so then let me ask this question really quick, and all I need is a simple yes or no. If they get to the postseason via the wild card, does Dennis Allen get fired? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Next team, Seattle Seahawks, 9-8.
Damn, we had a lot.
We didn't hear much about them, so I'm saying you stay where you at, right in the middle.
Oh wow. All right.
What did they do this offseason? Anything?
I
mean,
could
I like
bring,
the team
I
they
could
have.
bring it up because I did preview it, but
Go ahead. Talk
Okay.
about it then.
hold on. Let me go look for it.
While
ahead,
you're looking
Mike.
for it, Mike, what's
Go
your
ahead,
thoughts
Mike.
on this? On
I mean,
the,
I love what Geno Smith revamping his career up there. Obviously, Pete Carroll's guy had a hand in that, but I love DK Metcalf. I think Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet in the backfield, and you have Tyler Lockett. Look, it's an offense that can move the ball and put points up. I think they start. I want to say they start 2-0. Broncos and Patriots back to back. Then they host Miami, which we know we'll see. I mean, Tua got paid, and Tua's feelings, get hurt easily. But on the road in Seattle. It could be 3-0 the Lions. I say 3-0. Their first loss is going to be at Detroit, which is a good Monday night game. Be an interesting Monday night game. But then you open up with the Giants, and then you have the Giants after that. You got and then you go Falcons, Bills, Rams. That's a tough stretch before your bye. Then out of your bye, you go division, Niners, Cardinals. You go to New York late in the season, which we know the whole West going east and a 10 a.m. Pacific kickoff is always fun. But then they come here to take on the Cardinals. Go Packers, Vikings, Bears. Wow, that's crazy. They go the whole just about the whole North 3 weeks in a row, and then they finish with the obviously division game with the Rams. Man, I'm gonna go
in LA, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 10-7 for them.
wow. Playmaker, what you got?
So I'm looking back at these numbers that I grabbed from last year.
Okay.
They were good. They just somehow they found ways to lose.
Well, they got banged up in the middle of the season too. Geno wasn't fully healthy. I know. Didn't he not miss full games, but come out of a few?
Yeah, he did. You went and grabbed Lincoln Thomas, offensive guard from the New York Jets, which you need help on the offensive line. You made sure you re-signed Leonard Williams for your defense. You drafted Byron Murphy II, who everybody was looking forward to see where he was going to go from Texas. Good pick. You brought in Jonathan Hankins from the Cowboys. You brought in Rashad Jenkins from the Jaguars. They made some moves.
Yeah.
However, remember, I'm part of that event, so I already know who they playing. So you went 9-8. I can see you going 9-8 again because
while the pieces are definitely there, they just not to interject, but there was nothing about what this team did that made me say, looking at their schedule, you are better than. And I'm just like, I look at what you did last year and the games you were in, those games you played where we were like, ooh, Seattle win this one, it puts them in this level. But then you don't close the deal. And I'm not putting this all on Geno. I'm sorry. Is DK Metcalf still out there? Is Tyler Lockett still out there? You know what I'm saying? Something ain't clicking. So That's why I say you stay where you at. All right. Now, gentlemen, we get into the 7 teams that made it to the postseason last year. And we start with the Green Bay Packers, who finished 9-8, got into the postseason, made noise wild card weekend. Youngest team ever to play in the postseason. Jordan Love is there. As Mike alluded to, or Playmaker did, Aaron Jones is no longer there. He went to the enemy, to the purple and gold. So, Green Bay Packers, 9-8. Will they make it back to the postseason? Number one. Number two, what will their record be? Playmaker, take this one.
So I'm saying, I'm looking at it at Tennessee. I like Green Bay. Cardinals.
Well, hold on. Their first game is in Brazil against Philadelphia.
I'm picking the wins.
Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I heard you properly.
I'm picking the wins out.
My bad.
They can go to Tennessee and win that game.
Yes, they can.
I'm gonna have them sweep the Minnesota Vikings. Cardinals.
4,
They split with the Bears.
5.
They split with the Lions. I think they split last year with the Lions.
Interesting.
If I remember correctly. Miami, Sunday Night Football, late November. I give that to Green Bay. That's at Lambeau Field. New Orleans, I give them. They can go to Seattle and beat Seattle. That's 9 wins, so 9-8.
Do they make it back to the playoffs?
No.
Wow. Okay. I look at this team and say another year of the nucleus being together. And again, I go back to the whole familiarity can possibly breed success. Mike LaFleur, I think, finally has full control over this team. He's able to implement his style of play, and his players are going to adapt to what he wants. I say they get 10 wins because of the cohesiveness that exists with the Green Bay Packers.
Okay,
but I still will say y'all ain't winning week 1 in Brazil.
If they get 10 wins, they making the playoffs.
Well, I know that.
I think 10 wins this year is the cut line.
Yeah. Mike, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, they lose Aaron Jones, but they got another guy that I would have loved to see with a star on his helmet in Josh Jacobs from the Raiders. Obviously, they didn't, re-sign him, and this dude, I mean, he can pound the rock. So, and that receiving core, and yes, you're talking about Matt LaFleur, another year. You're saying more control, but like these young receivers, and they, growing with Jordan Love. I mean, look, Green Bay unfortunately could have the deepest receiver room in the league. I'm not talking about like you talk about like 2-man thing. You go like literally 1 through 5, and it's insane. And these dudes are young. Yeah, they're going to lose a few of them because like we know in a few years, but that's then because you can't pay everybody, but this receiving core is ridiculous. They're going to be able to run the ball defensively. I mean, we'll see where they're at. And if Jordan Love plays like he did as he got into a groove and a comfort, we saw those the last 6 games of the last 6 games of the regular season last year, and then going even into the playoffs. I'm going to say they go 10-7.
Okay. All right. Playmaker, it's your time. You up. Your team,
we're talking about the
Los Angeles Rams, 10-7 last year.
I'm gonna
Made
make
the
this
postseason.
very quick because I only did up to week 10.
Okay.
And up to week 10, I have my boys 8-1.
Wouldn't that be 8-2? Oh, your bye week's in there. I'm sorry.
It's week 6. We have a week 6 bye week.
Yes, you're right. Okay. My apologies.
8-1.
8-1.
8-1. We lose the home opener to the San Francisco 49ers as of right now.
You're going to Detroit and beating Detroit.
Hey, we Matter of fact, what was the score in that game? Do you remember the score of that game?
Last season?
In a wild card round? Do you remember the score of that game?
I mean, I know Detroit won off the top of my head. No, I don't remember the score.
24-23.
Oh, okay. But Detroit won.
Detroit won.
I look, Matthew Stafford.
We gonna go in there. It's gonna be another classic game, and we gonna come out on top this time.
Well, you're gonna be 8-2 going into December, since you only did up to week 10.
I had to break it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm just letting you know. Sunday, November 24th. Sunday Night Football.
Hey, that's the funny thing. That is on the slate for this week. So
Eagle Rams. That's okay.
Sunday Night Football in LA.
And we done took over stadiums before. Y'all's ain't no different.
Yeah, and we met last year in the same building, and y'all won.
Oh, Buffalo's gonna. Oh, you gotta have Buffalo come back in and put the drop 50 on you.
Oh, he went there. Yes, he did. He went there.
That's this week too. Patriots, Eagles, Saints, and the Bills are the games that I'm previewing this week.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
What's your record going to be? 8. Okay, you just said 8-1. That's where you at so far.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
so I'll look at the rest of your schedule for you, and I'm just going to let you know. If you're going to go 8-1, you're going to be 8-2. Saints 9-2, Bills 9-3, 49ers 9-4. At the Jets in December, 9-5. Cardinals 10-5. Seahawks will be the game. That last game, but they are coming to you January 5th, will be determining whether you hit double digits and make the cut or you don't get in. That's where I'm leaving you.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But you was wrong last year, so I'm one up on you because you had no faith in my team last year. Not you, not Raylan, not me. Only me and Mike had faith in my boys last year.
that is true. That I was going to say, wait, before you start going on a rant, I said I thought they would challenge the Niners. Look, I think they're to our point about Seattle. Like I said, I think what they brought in, and we'll see if it gels. And yes, the health does matter because if Kenneth Walker. And you know this playmaker. I mean, Kenneth Walker healthy, Zach Charbonnet as that 1-2 punch. Seattle's got something there if they're going to be able to run the ball. But for the Rams, look, I mean, what Kyron Williams did. I mean, Puka Nacua, this kid came on, and Cooper Kupp, I mean, was banged up. And I mean, after people were still talking about Cooper Kupp as playmaker nosy, but what Puka Nacua started doing over that stretch, you're like, oh, okay, like, oh, cool, Cooper Kupp's back, like. That's what it became because what he could do, and then what Kyron Williams running the ball, Sean McVay. I mean, always just tweaking the offense a little bit. Look, I as much as it pains me, I got him going 11-6.
Not to mention we drafted Blake Corum, so
that is true.
Okay. Let's move on to arguably the best team in the NFL.
Oh Lord,
Dallas Cowboys.
Yes,
Dallas Cowboys.
That is no, it's not. Goodbye, Michael.
The most disappointing team from last year.
Hey. We don't focus on the past. We move forward. And guess what? We ain't going back. But shout out to my true friend, the Blonde Blitz's own Deb Whitkiss, giving us her thoughts on the NFC East. Take a listen, gentlemen.
My top NFC spot goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Shocking, I know. Coming off of a heart-shattering season where the Eagles had the best record in the NFL and then collapsed in the latter part of the season with an 11-6 record, which cost them the division. And then they lost to the Buccaneers in the wild card round, ending 2023 on a very sad note. But I think they will turn that frown upside down this season. Rumors are Eagles are already flying high from training camp and preseason. Changing in coaching staff will make a huge difference this season as well. Howie Roseman brought in OC Kellen Moore, formerly of Dallas and the Chargers, as well as one of the most respected DCs in the league, Vic Fangio. I personally cannot wait to see what both of them do with this talented squad. Speaking of squad, the one and only wide receiver Saquon Barkley has left the Giants jersey behind to join the Eagles this season. If he can stay healthy, he will be a force on the field as he fits into one of the most well-constructed offenses already established in the NFL right now. We've got Brown, Goddard, Smith, and most newly acquired Jahan Dotson, who was one of my personal favorites on the Commanders as weapons around Hurts, obviously. As for the defense, I see them making some big plays this season under Fangio. Losing veteran Fletcher Cox will obviously hurt, but I think there will be a lot of storylines around young defensive tackles Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. These two Georgia Bulldogs have shown to be a nightmare for offensive lines when playing up to their full potential. I also like Eagles draft pick Mitchell a lot as well. My only concern is the schedule. The Eagles play 8 of their first 12 games away from the link. That energy is wild. They have 5 primetime games, 5 425 games, and then 13 straight to end the regular season. Week 6 through 13 will be a tough stretch. They play 4 playoff teams, 5 that finished 2023 with winning records, 5 road games, and back-to-back division games on a short week. All in all, though, my prediction, final record, 12-5.
Yep. I ain't gotta say nothing more because she set it all for me.
I'm gonna put it to you like this:
What?
The Eagles' floor is 10 wins. If they do worse than 10 wins, we gonna have some problems.
Who are you telling?
We gonna have some problems.
Who you telling? I know you ain't you telling Mike. I know you ain't telling me. I know you telling.
I'm telling Eagles Nation. I better see at least 10 wins. Nothing less than 10. Oh, we gonna be some problems. And trust me, I am friends with a lot of Eagles fans, including Eric Wilson.
Like I said, I don't know who you talking to. You talking to Mike Carrottenuto. You are not talking to me. Because let me be very clear. No. You had your speak. Let me just say this, and then I'm gonna kick it over to Mike real quick. Let me be very clear about something. You don't embarrass yourself like we did the last 6 of the 7 weeks in the season, barely squeaking out a win on Christmas to the New York Giants, who are god awful. Think you gonna come in here the following season and not seek revenge on everybody, whether we played you last year or we didn't. Okay? The basement for the Philadelphia Eagles this year is the number 2 seed in the NFC. That is the basement, sir. Ain't no 10 wins.
And that's debatable.
You either get number 1 or number 2. That's it. Go ahead, Mr. Cowboy.
No, I mean, like their schedule's interesting, and she talked about their additions, and she seems like such a lovely, smart person. But when she says so many things about a team that makes you, and she's wearing green, she probably vomited while saying it. So that's why
she didn't. She said it proudly.
The Eagles win the same amount of games they won last year.
I defended them last year until they were running the ball. Everybody said, "Oh, Jalen Hurts, this and that, yada 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 yada." They're winning games and they're shoving the ball down people's throats. Yeah, the wheels came off with the Niners, and then when they went and got smacked in Dallas, like that was towards the end of the season, that was tough for them. But yeah, I'm gonna go 11-6 for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, let's go on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the question Mike asked earlier: can Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Kate Otten, and that defense, led by Todd Bowles, can they get back to the postseason? My answer is very simply yes, because I have them actually at 10 wins, one more than what they did last year, because I don't see Atlanta. I think Atlanta and Tampa are going to fight for who wins the NFC South. And I picked Tampa to win.
And you got them at 11-6?
No, I got him at 10. I got him at 10 and 7.
10-7.
10 and 7.
9.
Same as last year.
Yeah, because when you have the Eagles on the schedule, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Cowboys, it's going to be hard. And then you split with your division outside of Carolina. Yeah.
They're not splitting their division. They'll go 4-2 in the division, maybe even 5-1.
That's what we difference. I say they split outside of Carolina. They'll sweep Carolina.
No. They'll sweep Carolina. I believe they can sweep Minnesota. The New Orleans, excuse me. And they split with Atlanta. So I say 5-1. Maybe 4-2. Because if they get full of themselves, like we've seen NFL teams do, either Carolina or New Orleans will get one from them.
And that would be the difference.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you. I go 10-7.
All right. 3 teams left. Let's get it done, gentlemen. The Detroit Lions. And again, one more time, our girl Deb's going to talk about her pick to win the NFC. Well, let me hear from you guys first, and then we'll go to Deb. The Detroit Lions finished 12-5. This is a team that I have been saying for the last 2 to 3 years. Keep your eye on this team. And even though they've made changes on both the offensive side and defensive side, key players moving, going different places, Detroit is on a different level. They are no longer the bottom of the barrel. They are not the Carolina Panthers of the NFC. Okay? So I say they retain the NFC North. They win that crown again. And even looking at their schedule, I say they still come away with their basement of 11 wins.
Check.
Okay.
I'm going to go 12-5 for the Lions.
Same as they had last year. All right. Let's see what Deb got to say.
My NFC North top spot goes to the Detroit Lions. The Lions will prove that their winning 2023 season was not a fluke by duplicating their record in 2024. Their future looks bright as they are unanimous favorites to win the division a second year in a row. They confirm their status as worthy contenders rather than just a flash in the pan by winning the division title by 3 games, followed by their impressive run to the conference championship game. This offseason, they clearly had focus on improving their cornerback position. They signed Amik Robertson, acquired Carlton Davis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and chose Arnold and Rickshaw Jr. with the first 2 draft picks. The Lions offense has consistency, with play caller Ben Johnson turning down a head coaching offer to stay in Detroit for a 3rd season. They lost wide receiver Josh Reynolds to free agency, but his departure may provide more opportunity for 2022 first-round pick Jamison Williams. Their final record this season, 12-5.
All right.
That is the second positive thing I heard about the Dallas Cowboys all summer.
What?
That is the second positive thing I heard about the Cowboys all summer.
Okay, so I'll make it a trifecta and give you the third. And Mike, I'm glad you're sitting down for this. Dallas Cowboys are next. And here's what I'm going to say about Dallas. What I'm upset about is the fact that Dallas and Philadelphia should be the last game of the regular season. It should not be the Eagles versus the Giants the Eagles versus the Commanders and Dallas versus the Giants, because those are just games that our teams don't have to play for, because at this point of the game, we'll already have sewn up our division and where we're going. It should be Eagles, Cowboys, week 18. But I digress. As Mike would say, I'm not bitter. Here's what I'll say to you. As much as this pains me to say, until someone not in the postseason can go into Jerry World and beat Dallas in Dallas, Dallas is going to get 8 wins off rip. They only got to win 4 or 5 on the road.
So you saying they're beating Baltimore at home? They beating Detroit at home.
Listen to me. What did I just say? Until someone did anybody beat them last year in Jerry World?
Well, they didn't see Lamar Jackson last year. They didn't see Joe Burrow last year.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm just saying.
Don't run from the question. The
I'm not
question
running
was, did any team that played Dallas last year beat Dallas in Dallas?
No, but I'm saying that's
okay. So, with that being said, until somebody does it, whether it be Philadelphia, whether it be Baltimore, whether it be Detroit,
in 3 weeks, week
3, when they play the 425
Ravens
matchup against Lamar Jackson, you're saying that that's going to be Dallas is going to lose that game. And listen, I want them to lose that game. But there is just something different about retaining and holding on to your home stadium, that energy. And I've never been to Jerry World. You can ask Mike. You know this, playmaker. There's only one way I'm going to Jerry World, and that is if the Eagles and the Cowboys are in the NFC Championship game and it is in Jerry World. That's the only way I'm ever going there.
Mike, can I ask you a question? A serious question.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
When was the last time the Cowboys had a off season like this? They showed pictures of training camp. Where were the fans at? Yeah. When was the last time you seen the Cowboys had to deal with this kind of offseason? They have the talent. You know that. But they haven't done nothing.
Well, I mean, look, CD got paid today, and they haven't nothing. The one thing look, Jerry Jones, I've said this to Eric since they got Zach Martin. Like, he listens to his scouting department. They have drafted well, and yeah, they've hit on guys where maybe some teams have passed and someone falls to them, but it is weird. I mean, CD not being in camp, I think, took a lot of people away. Of course, he got paid today, as we all know, but look, they can play defense. I mean, Micah Parsons' 3-year stretch, which is just absolutely freaking phenomenal. I mean, the only other defender coming in the league having a 3-year stretch that was better was the man, and that would be Lawrence Taylor. So look, they're going to play defense. I mean, if Dan Quinn, deserving of a head coaching job, even though it sucks he ended up where he did. But Mike Zimmer coming back, the one thing about those Minnesota teams that he led, it wasn't about their defense was keeping them out of the playoffs. It just, they needed more from the offense. So the fact that Mike Zimmer got hired and, like you said, the talent, it is odd. I mean, Jerry Jones always wants to say stuff. Don't say you're all in and not land, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. Don't tell me you're all in but CD got paid today, and he's number 2, like we said, behind Justin Jefferson, but he did get $100 million guaranteed. Funny how that works, caring about the guarantee, not the.
I hope CD know that expectation is for what you did last year. That means you have to do it again.
Right. 100%. And I think, his talent, and what he can do, how he does it. And, no matter where you line him up and moving him around. And I mean, as much as I bashed on Kellen Moore, the one thing I would say to Eric Playmaker is I did love how he started moving CD around. And then last year when he got PO'd and went into Mike McCarthy's office after the Niners, did what the Niners did to a lot of teams and smacked him around saying, get me the ball more. Funny how secondaries got torn up after he got the ball more, and good secondaries. So I'm going to go, and it's not Homer because it's just until, like Eric said about the home thing, until it happens different. They're going 12-5. They win the division again. And we go from there. But yeah, Micah Parsons on defense, what these guys have done. I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence, as much as I picked on him, but with Micah Parsons and the way that they just play up front, and the fact that Parsons is just blowing dudes up, and You look at the young guys in the middle, and I mean, yeah, they need more from Mozzie Smith. We know that. Like, yeah, I understand you draft him and he looked pretty good, then he gets banged up and he's not the same. But I mean, yeah, Mike Zimmer, Dan Quinn, like, you're going to do it for their defense. So we'll see what they get out of him in the middle. And the fact that they actually, I mean, it sucks about Leighton Vander Esch. We've talked about that already on the show, but the fact that you actually have like linebackers now, and you can, don't have to go into a playoff game with, no real linebacker playing linebacker and get blown up like you at home, like to Eric's point, like you haven't done all year long. So I go 12-5.
All right. Last team, the team that made it to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately was unsuccessful. That is, in fact, the San Francisco 49ers.
And this is where
who potentially could be without Brandon Ayuk. We still don't know, but they still got George Kittle. They still got Deebo Samuel. They still got Christian McCaffrey. They still got Brock Purdy. Do we know what's going on with Trent Williams?
He wants his money guaranteed. He wants to he's got no more guaranteed money left. So yeah, basically he's playing, each year on salary. So he wants basically them to change it to not all of it, but a portion of it, because there's no way you get all of it, but a good portion of it, restructure it to where it's guaranteed money. So it wouldn't even really be an extension. But look, if this goes into week 1 or 2, the only thing I'll say is somebody like Christian McCaffrey is going to notice. Yes, they have depth, but like you and I always say at the offensive line, there's a difference between, what I grew up with Larry Allen at guard, than when you have somebody else, Jason Kelce at center, Jordan Mailata, like you've dealt with, those guys. Yes, they're there for a reason, but there's a difference. They don't re-sign Trent Williams, restructure. That's going to be tough. But yeah, I'm still going. I look at the Niners schedule real quick, and yeah, you think of, Aaron Rodgers comes back home to the Bay Area, week 1, and they got, they're taking on the Jets. I still think the Niners beat them. Look, I do think because of the battles, especially division battles, but these two teams, the hatred, as Playmaker knows, for the Rams and the Niners, there is no love lost between those fan bases. I think both teams, they split there. But I want to say I'm going to go 13-4 for the Niners.
We do not split.
Go ahead, Playmaker.
We do not split.
Okay.
It's one of those. We might have split last year, but people must forgot. It was Carson Wentz versus Sam Darnold. It wasn't Brock Purdy versus Matthew Stafford.
I know it was. I'm just saying.
Until my starters can beat their starters, I cannot pick us to beat San Francisco.
Wow.
Hopefully they do it in week 3, even though I picked 49ers to win that game. They'll go 12-5 and win the division again.
You'll get no argument from me. This team has depth on both sides. What Kyle Shanahan has done has just shown that with the right coach and the right players, they can be successful.
Don't forget the right front office too.
Yes. That plays management does play. Yes. Management does play a huge factor. I will say 12-5 simply because Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, has shown us nothing but relevancy since he took over the starting job. And if you look at the people who he took over for, Trey Lance and Jimmy G, very simple question. What are they doing? These guys were supposed to be above you, head and shoulders. Trey Lance was the number 3 pick by San Francisco, and he throwing 5 interceptions in Dallas.
And still get to keep his job, by the way.
And Jimmy G is where?
Oh, backing up Matthew Stafford.
Right. So when Brock Purdy does what he does and is given the ability to do what he wants to do free and clear, 12-5 is simple.
Oh, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Backing up Matthew Stafford after his 2-game suspension.
Right. Exactly. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of this. Mike, man, thank you so much for jumping on. Like I said, best of luck tonight to the Liberty playing the Phoenix Mercury.
Go Liberty.
Man, goodbye. Man, bye.
Hey. Is that coming from the man who tried to get on me about the Washington Mystics on my own show?
All right.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get back to the gamey. This guy, I love this guy. Playmaker rocks.
Hey, we will see y'all. We are taking off next Monday for Labor Day. So the next time you see us, the Sports Arena will be in the midst of opening weekend of the NFL season. We got a lot to talk about. Playmaker, you know the invitation is always open. Thank you to everybody for chiming and tuning in. Everybody stay blessed. We will see y'all next time. We out. Peace.